Hey guys, my name is Tim. I'm the master mechanic at Zeiten BMW Mobile Services. And today in this video, we're gonna be replacing the rear brake pads on a car, the BMW. This is 640i that has automatic parking brake, you know, the one with the button. It's the same exact procedure on almost all the BMWs with the automatic parking brake, except E70 X5, E65 7 Series. So those will have a different system. So let's say the 2009 and up Z4s, or what else? 640 5 Series, definitely 528s, starting with the F Series, so F10 and up. All of those will have exactly the same system. So without further ado, let's get to it. First thing we're gonna do is loosen the wheel bolts, lug nuts, whatever you want to call them. It's a 17 millimeter. Before you raise the car, just loosen them a bit. And now I already have my jack in place. The jacking pad is right here. So this is where you jack your car. We don't need to raise it much. This is enough. I strongly advise you to use the jack stand, so you will have to lift it further up and put the jack stand somewhere under the control arm in there. I'm not gonna do it. Let's take the wheel off. One more thing before you start the job, just make sure your parking brake is released. In our car it is, so we are all good to go. As the matter of precaution, we'll put the wheel back right here. So there is two ways to get this job done. One, you can, using the scanner, put the car into installation position, and this will release the tension on the caliper. You'll still have to compress it, but it will scroll it back basically. But not everybody has the scanner, so I'll show you the way how to do it, just using basic tools and step by step how to do so. So first thing we got to do is disconnect this connector right on top from the parking brake and take it off from here so it's out of the way. Now we have this sensor that we're going to be replacing. That's why I'm showing you this side. The other side is exactly the same, minus this sensor. Doesn't want to get off. There we go. So let's make it free. And this one, it's 13 millimeter, but I believe it's somewhat, it's not metric nut, because 13 is a little bit big and 12 is not big enough. So I'll try the other one, but 13 millimeter should work like a charm actually. Let's see. There you go. It does work, but after that we'll have to hold this nut right here, because if I move it, it moves too. So I'm gonna use just a regular pliers like this to hold it in place. There is not much tension in there, so you don't have to use a lot. And there it is. That's the first bolt. And there's another one. That is the bottom bottom bolt. You lose it first, and then once again we're going to use the pliers to hold this piece in place. It seems like this is not enough. There we go. Now we can remove the caliper. Not an easy task. We'll have to push this pin in because it's on the way of the parking brake electrical part. That's it. And we can remove the pad simply by pushing it forward. Just like that. Almost gone. 2 millimeters left. Okay, let's take this out. And the sensor too. Once we've done that, all we gotta do, there's 2 bolts in the back, Torx 30s right here on each side. We'll take them off and take the electrical part out of the way. So those 2 bolts are out, and now we simply take them apart. And that exposes us to this thing. This is where you I think it's Torx 45. Yeah, Torx 45 socket fits perfectly in there, and all you got to do is just start doing this clockwise. Do it clockwise. Until it stops. There it is. So it should be moving freely like this. When it stops, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Now all we gotta do is compress the piston back inside. As you can see, it's moving. This is it. And now we can put this piece back in place. There we go. And don't forget the bolts with the bracket. One and another one. Okay, for this job we're going to be using Akebono pads. Those are really good ones. I like them a lot. We're using those because the other brand I like, which is Jurit, which is OEM for this car, so those pads are most likely, yep, as I said. If you can close up in here, so check it out guys. It says Jurit right here, and it says BMW right here. So Jurit is OEM pad for this car, but we didn't have those in stock. Akebono, I like the Akebonos a lot, and also you can get, check this out, TRW. That's who manufactures the caliper for this car, so there is definitely no fall in getting the TRW pads. Now every brake pads from any manufacturer for this type of brakes will come with new hardware, so we'll take those off, out of the way, and now we have this new set of hardware. There we go, and the pads. We'll start with this one. That's the way it goes. And for the second one, since we're gonna be installing the new sensor, of course, every time you do, it's the best thing to do. I'll put the sensor first through the caliper, put the caliper somewhere around here so it's out of the way. Then we put the sensor to the pad. Let me see. Yep, to the pad. And we go the same way as we did the previous one. It's best if you can see. Put the bottom first and then the top, and then just slide them in. Now, only thing left to do is, of course, readjust the sensor and slide in the caliper. There we go. Akebono don't come with the bolts, so we're using the old ones. There is no problem about it at all. You don't need new bolts. Technically, you don't need new hardware, but since it comes with it, it's a nice shiny piece we can install. So this is it. Now same way, holding the bottom piece and make it tight. As you can see, 13mm works just fine. I do believe it's not metric nut, but it's really close to 13mm, so we are all good to go. And now we have the old sensor right here. So the best thing you can do is just to follow it up. It goes here first, and then to the caliper. Right here in the middle, push it, and then just follow it. There in the middle, always stays in the middle. There you go. Now let's open up this box. There we go. And this is where the connector is. Okay, and now we finally can plug in the connector right here. So we just replaced the brake pads on both sides. Now all we gotta do is push the start button and pump the brakes a bit. And now we can engage and disengage the parking brake. So let it on and release it. Now you're all set, and only thing left to do is to clear the service interval. So what you gotta do is don't start the car. Let's press this one, and you will push this button right here and hold it. There you go. Vehicle check, brake fluid, and rear pads, and you push it again, reset, it asks, and you push it again and hold it, and reset is in progress. That's how you do it without the scanner or anything else, and there you go. Now start the car, just work the brake pedal a little bit, and remember, every time you replace the pads, give it at least 50 miles to basically adjust, especially if you replace all 4 pads, front and back. So this is it, guys. This is how you replace the brake pads on BMWs and Mini, actually, with electronic parking brake system. As you can see, there is nothing overcomplicated about the procedure. You just have to know what you're doing. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you guys for watching. Don't break your cars.